Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. You never thought I'd see the day. 4 seasons. Season 4, episode 1. If we take a quick look down here. Milkshake. Chips. And water. It's to keep me sustained while I'm watching an hour and 18 long first episode. And then there's 6 more to go. And then there's a volume 2. The last 2 episodes, it's like 3 hours long altogether. Scary. I don't even know what to say about this. I've cried twice. It's only been the first episode I've cried twice because 11 and Hopper and her dad being her hero and then it being destroyed and it looks like Will wants to help her but can't because he's got something else on his mind. And then Robin and Steve, I cried because they're my favorite dynamic duo. I can't live without Robin and Steve being platonic soulmates. And is Chrissy dead? Is Chrissy dead? Does this mean Chrissy's dead? Chrissy's dead? Is Chrissy dead? What about Eddie? What's gonna go on with Eddie? Why did Vecna choose Chrissy to flay or kill or whatever's happening? Lucas I have no sympathy for. He made his choice, and that was not to play Dungeons and Dragons with the Hellfire Club, and then Erica is his replacement, and to that I say, good for her. Good for them. The next episode, Vecna's Curse, is an hour and 16, so maybe we're gonna find out who Vecna is. And Joyce and Murray. Did Murray relocate? Like, we knew at the end of season 3 that he needed to relocate. Did he relocate to California? Because Joyce said, where are you? So they must be in the same location, right? And Joyce, it seems like she's figured out Hopper's alive because that note said like Hop's alive. I didn't read the rest of it. Maybe I will during a rewatch. God! Oh my god, this is such a good episode. I will say one thing, the pacing is a little off. I will say, like, that happened in season 3 as well, so it's not like it's different. It's more like, I think they could have doubled the length of the season, which I don't think they like to do. I think they like to have longer and less amount of episodes, which I get. I totally get. You have like a whole movie length. It's like it to build up, to world build, I get it, but I would have personally liked them to cut each episode in half. Like episode 1 could have been 2 separate episodes easily. Is Max a little bit off as well, a little bit flayed? I'm not sure I like Eddie as a character either. Argyle was pretty funny. Ooh, that reminds me, Jonathan and Nancy, what's going on there? That was a really confusing scene. That was back and forth, love of their lives, what's going on with them. It's a little bit confusing. And all that jokes about 11 not understanding what weed is. Don't tell Joyce though. And the next day Mike's going to California. God, I'm so hyped. Oh my god, I love it so much. Yes. I have completed episode 2, Vecna's Curse. And I'd like to just say, first of all, I was right about Hopper not getting into the Upside Down, and that's how he ended up in Russia. Did I not tell you all? That's what it was going to be. There's no way for him to be able to jump down into the Upside Down. He had to have been captured by the Russians, and that's what he was. He was captured by the Russians, and now he's in that Russian prison, and Joyce and Murray are trying to get to him. Or at least that's where the story is going, and now we know about Vecna's Curse, and somehow it's leaked back into the world without a gate. Maybe there is a gate. I don't know. Vecna doing something killed Chrissy and Fred, which that was terrifying. The whole popping eyes thing. Ugh, terrifying. Next one is the monster and the superhero, which reminds me of the flea and the acrobat. Vecna in the Creel house so far. We've been introduced to the idea of Victor Creel. I'm very excited to hear about that, and Nancy going on her journalistic ways. I wonder how she's gonna react to Fred's death. I feel so bad for 11. Then Mike and Will, to me, seems too much of a side character still, and like that. I don't like him being a whole side character. Will needs a bigger part, but he's not very prominent on the poster either, so I doubt he's gonna get a bigger part than he already has. My sister thinks that the whole Will Byler thing, I'm not convinced Byler's gonna happen. Will might have a crush on Mike, but I feel like it's more like just a jealous, like we were best friends sort of thing. Still want to be best friends while you're spending so much time with Elle sort of thing, instead of a crush. I wouldn't put it past Will to be gay. I would like him personally to be ace coded. I think that makes more sense for him, and not to give him a love interest. I'm very excited about the Robin, Steve, Dustin, Max quad. That actually makes a lot of sense for them to be together. We haven't got too much of Max's backstory yet, or what's been going on. Like, her character is just traumatized. I feel like we don't have enough depth of Max. And Eddie, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of his character, but it does definitely add to the story itself. I've calmed down a little bit. I didn't cry this episode. On to the next one. Okay, I just noticed that chapter 4 is Dear Billy, and we just ended with Max looking at the clock, and I'm starting to realize why the Duffer Brothers said that seeing a clock is not a good thing. Now I'm really concerned that Max is actually gonna die. Lucas really needs to get a hold of himself. I think he is. He's gonna be meeting them at the school soon, which is good. They did, I think he took them to Hopper's destroyed cabin, which is great. Good job, Lucas. Them arresting 11 for hitting someone with a roller skate. Come on, I've done worse than that before. Like, really? Really? Literally, that was the stupidest thing I've ever watched. Good thing they're gonna make it go away, and I'm starting now, and we're realizing why Eleven's got her own storyline compared to everyone else, the rest of the California people. Argyle has to come back into the story at some point because, you know, he's in the posters and in that part of the story. But the headaches thing, I noticed at the beginning of the episode, and I was like, whoa, headaches. Max is getting headaches. Definitely already flayed at the beginning of the season. I know that we knew she was going to get flayed or cursed. They're not really flayed anymore, they're cursed, which is a whole different thing. That they're changing up the words, which I don't like. You know what I don't like? How they were referring to 11 as Jane so much. I know that's her legal name and they were trying to hide her and such. I don't like it. But Jonathan and Will are considering themselves brothers, or at least legally they're 11's, excuse me? Legally they consider themselves 11's brothers, which I like that family dynamic. This whole relationship drama, that reminded me, Steve and Nancy, what's going on there? Are we trying to get them back together? Because I don't want that to happen. I prefer Nancy and Jonathan, honestly. I hate Nancy in general. She's one of my least favorite characters. The Wheeler family in general, least favorite. Like, the way they're talking about that is so weird. The characters we don't have so far, that I thought were going to be more in it. Erica Sinclair, Karen Wheeler. I guess Hopper's not that in it either. I did think that Chrissy was going to have a bigger part, but then she straight up died. So that's not great. I'm thoroughly enjoying this season so far. It's a little bit different, but I like the vibe much better than season 3. I didn't particularly like season 3. To add on it as an add-on, especially since we met Robin and Steve and Robin are like platonic soulmates to the max, and I love their dynamic. I'm gonna need me a Steve to my Robin. But if they put Steve and Nancy back together, I'm killing the Duffer Brothers myself.
I don't need a letter. I don't want a letter.
I'm not sure I'm ready for what's coming next.
I'm here.
Okay, I'm finishing tonight with episode 4. What I have to say about this episode, holy crap, I thought Max was gonna die. I genuinely was like, they're killing her off. Robin's speech. Did no one else, that was cool. Her whole spiel. God, I love Robin. She's one of my favorite characters. It's looking more and more like they're going to put Steve and Nancy back together. To that I have to say, absolutely not. And Steve still has to be, Steve is a babysitter. I have a headache. I am blanking on everything right now. That's why I'm finishing watching it tonight, and it's only like not even 9:30 at night. So, It's a lot of content to get through, but it is so cool. It's all starting to meld together as well. Argyle driving and being like, buyers having a party without me, man, that's not cool, that's not cool, and like going on that, and then Jonathan is like, drive, whatever, you know, and the whole shooting scene, that was pretty cool. Elle's going to Nevada. Nevada's next to California, isn't it? Like, Americans seem to think that we're supposed to just know where everything is. Nevada, I only know is next to California because I heard that apparently Las Vegas is actually in Nevada when I thought it was in California. And next episode is the Nina Project. That's exciting to find out some new things about the Nina Project. Of course, to confront her past. I love getting to know the 11 backstory because we didn't actually get too much of a backstory on her. We just know that Brenna experimented on her and she opened the upside down of the gate. And the questions I still have though is origins of Vecna / the upside down. What led to 11 opening the gate or killing these kids? Kind of go hand in hand. Well, I know that we have, well, she opened it because they're experimenting too much and they stumbled upon it, but like, kids, how'd she kill the kids? You know what I mean? God, I really thought Max was gonna die. I really did. I really thought she was gonna die. I wonder if they're gonna kill off the main cast. Oh, and Joyce and Murray getting shipped off to Russia for Yuri, I think his name was. Yuri's money. That's unfair. How dare you do such a thing to me? And that's probably what's going to lead them to the plane crashing. I wonder what's going to happen to Hopper. Is he going to go back? Is he going to escape before he gets back? I have a lot of questions, okay? We're going to get them answered tomorrow. Hopefully. There still is 2 episodes left at the end of this, so very exciting stuff. See you tomorrow. I brought a lounge in here for day 2. Okay, I have some harsher things to be saying about this. Number 1, where's Erica? Erica's in the posters, especially in the Creel House posters, so I don't understand why she's not really in this season. Second of all, Nancy and Steve. What is going on here? It better be Steve trying to get even more over Nancy, because if they get back together, I swear to God, like, he's one of my favorite characters. And Nancy is one of my least favorite characters. I really hate the Wheelers. Third, Karen's in the posters as well. She has an individual poster on her own. I don't think she's in the main poster, but she's got an individual one. She hasn't really been in this except for being a mum and while they're at the Wheeler house, you know, that sort of thing. Fourth, them getting captured is like them, by them I mean Joyce and Murray, is against Murray's better judgment. Like, would he have not have been like, I don't know, maybe he poisoned the coffee or something? The pacing still feels very off, and they definitely should have doubled the episodes that they were bringing in. Each time I think the episode's going to be over, it is in fact not over. It just feels like there's elements missing to it, especially with the characters. The next episode is The Dive, and I'm kind of concerned Steve's gonna die in this one because we know that he's underwater in this. Victor Creel, yep, Creel Vecna at the Creel house has taken yet another victim of whatever his name is, the basketball guy. I don't know what his name is. I cannot remember for the life of me. This whole Eddie chase is getting kind of repetitive. And I don't understand how much this adds to the story, except, like, it adds, like, a murder mystery element, but we know what actually has happened. Like, what does the basketball guy have to do with it except for his friend dying? Is he gonna... I don't remember his name. It's in my notes somewhere from the what we know so far thing. But the basketball guy, unless he dies from Vecna as well, he really doesn't have any other purpose except for chasing Eddie, which is... I don't see why that's a subplot other than Eddie trying to hide. They should have brought something else in or had Eddie with the Creel House group. Will and Mike, Okay, Will being gay, great. I agree with that. Go ahead. Will, they've built up for Will being gay. But Mike and Will, that's not gonna work. I'm sorry, but that's not gonna work. It doesn't make any sense. It's not gonna work. But Argyle is quickly becoming one of my favorite characters. He has like just a fun, loving personality. Comedic relief. He's like comedic relief. Also, I will add, the ensemble cast is too big and it's confusing and it's all over the place. Hopper's gonna die to a Demogorgon, obviously. No, he probably won't die. That's another thing. Didn't realize Hopper was exposed to Agent Orange and that's the real reason Sarah died. Like, shit. That's a lot to take in. It makes a lot of sense. It does. It's just very sad. I feel bad for Hopper. He is a curse. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna watch the next episode and hopefully it gets a bit better. And if Steve and Nancy become a thing, Duffer Brothers, I'm gonna write you a very aggressive, passive-aggressive letter. I cannot believe that episode. Steve's not gonna die because we haven't seen the scene with him on the bikes with like Robin, Nancy and Eddie. Yeah, so he's not gonna die. We're good. We're fine. But that gave me the shock of my life. I'm gonna say it again. There are too many characters in this show. The cast is way too much. I keep getting confused. The thing that's confusing me the most is 11's storyline and what's going on with that. And I don't really know what I'm supposed to be feeling about Brenna because I want to really hate him. But it's like they're trying to set up for a redemption arc to get her powers back. Steve and Nancy is a no-go. What is this flip-flopping between Jonathan and Steve? Absolutely not. And him being shirtless, that was kind of funny with Max staring at him. Susie's family is quite funny. I like Susie. Argyle and whatever her face is, Susie's sister. That was fun. That was really fun. We love Murray and Joyce being angsty. I don't know how Steve's gonna get out of this alive. I genuinely don't know how he's gonna do that. I'm scared for Steve, but a part of me knows he's going to survive. I don't know if I liked episode 6. Episode 6 was a bit stupid to me. There's too much going on. Huh. You know, I feel like we should have seen that coming. I think we definitely did see that coming. Does that mean 11 like opened the gate? Did she create the upside down herself and then like Vecna kind of expanded on that? Or one / the Creel kid / you know, I knew that little kid looked a little bit weird. He was looking a little bit funky, a little bit ill in the head, you know. I didn't. But what about the Mind Flayer? Is the Mind Flayer also Vecna, also one? Joppa reunion. That's all I needed. Steve and Nancy. Didn't need that in my life. If it happens, I will simply be passing away. That's the one thing that's really frustrating me about this new season is Steve and Nancy. Nancy needs to get a life. Is Nancy gonna die? That's my question. I personally am voting for either Steve or Nancy dying. Steve is no longer one of my favorite characters. Like at the beginning of the season, if Steve died, I died too. But if he dies now, I don't know if I'd care. If it breaks up the Steve and Nancy dynamic, I don't know if I'd care. I'd much prefer Nancy to die. Like if Steve died. I really did like episode 7 though. That was pretty good. That was a step up from episode 6. Except for the Steve and Nancy stuff.